Alright, so the Vahan Vue 4K dashcam is probably the only one which gets a circular display, at least among all the dashcams which I have reviewed till date. And on top of it, it gets some really cool analog watch faces, something which you only see in smartwatches. So these different watch faces which you can use as a screensaver give this dashcam a very unique look. Not to mention that this camera comes under the price bracket of 10,000 rupees. It gets a dual channel variant and also gets GPS built in. So you all might have seen the quick review video which I just brought up a few days ago, but in this video we'll be taking a deep look into the Vahan Vue 4K dashcam and give you all the knowledge, all the insight which you need to have to make that informed purchase decision. So without wasting any more of your time, let's jump in straight into the video. You're watching Travel Tech, let's get started. Alright, so here's the 4K dashcam which you all have been waiting for. The new brand Vahan bringing out a very distinctive and a unique design to its 4K dashcam. So as you can see, you have the brand name Vahan Vue and it says K05 dashcam, and at the bottom it says it supports 4K resolution with the Wi-Fi mobile app. Circular recording basically means loop recording. It has G sensor and some level of night vision algorithm. It's also got 1.66 inch IPS screen. On the other side of the box, they have highlighted some features. Again, the same Wi-Fi mobile app, loop recording, 140-degree field of view, 1.66 inch smart screen, G sensor, voice announcement, parking monitoring and a night vision. Well, let's take a look at the dashcam. I'm pretty excited to see one of the most uniquely and distinctively designed dashcams for the Indian market. So as soon as you open up the box, you find a 128GB Samsung Evo Plus card. Now this comes free in the box, you don't have to purchase it separately, and that's a super cool thing. Straight up after that, you get a customer card from Vahan, wherein you find some QR codes for additional warranty and even Amazon feedback link. So here is the user manual for the Vahan 4K dashcam. You can take a look at this user manual for all the technical details. Then you have two electrostatic stickers, one for the front and one for the rear. So this is the Type-C USB power cable with a pre-attached 12-volt car socket charger. As you can see, here is the Type-C port, and you also get a Type-A 4-pin connector. This is probably for the rear camera. Then you have the installation tool, a pretty thin and a broad-ended tool which will be useful for installing the wiring of the dashcam. Then you have the rear camera with standard rear camera with a 360-degree rotatable design. It doesn't have any LED although, but gets a windshield mount and a 3M sticker. You also get an additional sticker for the rear camera. This camera also gets a Type A and Type B pre-attached connectors along with the extra Type B 4-pin connector which probably plugs in into the USB power cable right here. So these are the main things in the box. Now let's move on and take a look at the main item, the Vahan 4K UHD front dashcam. Alright. So here's the uniquely designed and newly designed Vahan 4K dashcam. Straight up looks like out from a James Bond movie. I mean, the gadget design is so unique. I haven't seen any dash camera design like this. And as you can see, it fits more or less within the palm of my hand. So it's not actually as big as they put out on the pictures. It's very small, and that's a good thing because this forms a very small size form factor and it will be easier to conceal. So on top you have this broad sticker covering area which is going to attach to the windshield mount, and you have this ball joint which will help the dashcam in rotating left or right and even to a certain extent up and down. So you have this Type-C connector at the top. On the left you have this Vahan branding and a micro SD card slot right here. On the other side you have this reset slot again with a Vahan branding, and on the bottom you find some buttons. This is probably a mute button, power button. On the front you get the main camera lens which says f1.6. That's the aperture size. The build quality of the camera is decent. It's made up of plastic. I really like the broad windshield mount because this is going to provide a proper grip for the dashcam to hold onto the windshield. And at the back, the 1.6 inch LCD screen. It's going to be interesting to see how this circular screen performs and the kind of features it brings to this particular dash camera. So starting with the installation process, first you need to remove the sticker from the lens of the front camera. Following that, take the memory card provided within the box and insert it into the dash cam. Then peel off the sticker covering the windshield mount of the dash cam. Peel it off carefully so that you don't damage the gum tape which is right behind it. Stick the dash cam to a suitable area on the windshield, preferably around the center of the windshield so that the camera gets a good view. Take the Type B connector of the rear camera and plug it into the Type A connector of the front camera. Also peel off the sticker from the rear camera and its windshield mount and stick the rear camera onto the rear windshield. Take the 12-volt adapter provided within the box and plug it into the 12-volt socket and turn on the car. Also head into the settings of the dashcam and enable the Wi-Fi from within the on-display settings. Then head on to the Wi-Fi settings of your smartphone, search for the specific Wi-Fi network and enter the password to connect to the dashcam's hotspot. Once done, open up the app and wait for the connection to happen. It will take a few seconds, and once the connection is proper, you will get a live view on your smartphone. Align the camera for a proper orientation while looking at the live view on your smartphone display. Also, to head into the settings, just pause the recording using the app and head into the settings where you find some options such as the display resolution, where you have a 4K, 2K and a 1080p resolution options. You also get a few more options within the app, not as much as you find in the display. You get the loop recording option wherein you can set the file duration to be written as 1 minute, 2 minutes or a maximum duration of 5 minutes. So moving on to the number plate readability from the Vahan front dashcam, I have paused the video at a point where the car in front is about a distance of I think 15 to 20 feet. And if you zoom in to take a look at its number plate, a decent image giving you the entire number plate read, all letters and numbers are visible, but you can observe some level of blurring and a moderate level of noise in the image, indicating this probably is an upscaled 4K resolution. Moving on to the nighttime number plate readability from the front camera, I have overlapped two pictures. So the snapshot on top shows you the number plate readability while the vehicle is under the glare of my headlights, and at the bottom the number plate readability when the vehicle is not under the glare of the headlights. So clearly you can make out that in the image on the top, if the car in front is under your headlight glare, you won't be able to read the number plate and it's going to give you a whitewashed look. This is because this camera doesn't get the StarViz 2 sensor, and every other dashcam which doesn't have a StarViz 2 sensor, irrespective of the brand they come with, will give you a same result. So the bottom image represents the number plate readability when it's not under the direct glare of your headlights. In such specific instances, the Vahan 4K camera will give you a decent read of the number plate. Moving on to the overall video quality during daytime. So when I shot this, it was completely overcast, not a bright sunny day, so the video might look a bit dull, and that's purely because of weather. Do note that this camera's metadata suggests that the front camera has a 3840x2160p resolution at 30 frames per second. It has a bitrate of about 31,000 kbps and a file size of about 220 MB per minute. The rear camera on the other hand has a 1920x1080 Full HD resolution at a 30 frames per second. Also 9200 kbps of bitrate with a 70 MB per minute of file size. I mean, the overall video quality during daytime looks kind of satisfactory. For the price you're paying for it, that is less than 10,000 rupees, this kind of a video quality is more than enough for any evidence-based purposes, specifically insurance claims or legal cases. Although you'll find much better 4K quality in other cameras, you should also note that those specific cameras are much pricier than this, and for the price of 10,000 rupees, this camera is doing justice for the video quality during daytime. Moving on to the nighttime video quality. So on top is the front camera, on the bottom is the rear. Do note that in the rear camera quality, the camera does tend to catch a lot of glare and exposure from the headlights which are facing towards the dash camera, kind of giving it a whitewashed look in the middle of the image. But the overall quality from the rear camera does seem much better, and it doesn't seem much darker or dull compared to most of the other rear cameras which I have seen till date. The front camera on the other hand does give a darker and a dim look in areas which are not covered under illumination and which are not covered under light. And also you can see a lot of punchy colored saturation levels. You can see those red lights of all vehicles just glowing bright red, indicating a high level of saturation. I personally feel that the video quality of the front camera during daytime is a tad bit better when you compare the same quality during nighttime. Alright, so this is the display of the Vahan Vue dashcam. On top you find some notifications which indicate the Wi-Fi status, GPS status, rear camera and even the mic status. On the bottom you have the options which correspond to the buttons which are given right below the dashcam. So currently I have not inserted an SD card, so it's saying as no card right in the middle. But if you have an SD card, this blue light on top, the blue LED on top will be blinking, indicating a recording status. So let's quickly head into the settings of this dashcam and show you what you can do with it. Alright, so I've zoomed in as much as possible right now to make sure you guys see all the options that are given in the settings of this dashcam, especially the on-screen settings.
So on top, the first option is the resolution option, and if we head into that, you get three options: 4K, 2K and 1080p. So currently I've selected the 4K option. Let's stay on that. Following it, you have the loop record option, wherein if you head into that, you get three options: 1 minute, 3 and 5 minutes. Then you have the time-lapse recording option. If you head into that, you can turn off the time-lapse completely, or you can set it at 1 second, 2 second and 3 second time duration. Following that, you have the time-lapse recording timer. So if you head into that, you can select either 12 hours, 24 hours or 48 hours. Then you have the audio option. Basically, you can turn on or turn off the mic. Then you have the date stamp option, which you can turn on or turn off. Then you have the G sensor option, which you can set at low, medium or high, I presume. And of course, you can also turn off the G sensor completely. Following that, you have the screensaver option. So currently it is set at 1 minute. So if we head into the screensaver settings, you can turn off the screensaver, or you can make it to turn on after 1 minute, 3 minutes or 5 minute time duration. Then you have the screensaver time duration. If we head into that, you can of course again turn it off completely, or have it for 30 seconds, 1 minute or 5 minutes. Then following that, you have the screensaver select option, wherein you can select the various different watch faces for the screensaver. It has got a decent number of options to set as screensaver, and it's even got a digital time clock as well, and lots of analog options also given for this screensaver. So let's just select my favorite one, the red colored. Following that, you have the frequency option, wherein if you head into it, you get 50 Hz and 60 Hz. Following that, you have the USB mode. If you head into that, you get the USB storage option and the charge option. Following that, you have the back mirror option. Basically, you can mirror the rear camera. You can turn it off or turn it on. Then you have the speaker volume, which can set at low, medium or high. You have the boot sound option, which you can turn off or turn on. Then you have the key sound, basically the sound which you get when you press the button. You can turn it off or turn it on. Then you have the language option to select the proper language. Then you have the date and time option. Then you have the time zone option, the speed unit, kilometers per hour or miles per hour. Then you have the GPS test option, and then you have the format SD card option. Following that, you have the default factory settings. And of course, here is where you need to go into the Wi-Fi app in order to activate the Wi-Fi of the dash camera. Then you have the version, and following that, back to the resolution options. So these are the on-screen settings, basically the entire settings for this dash camera. And if we head into the main setting, and if we head into the main screen back, so once you're in the main screen, what you can do to change the view to the reverse camera is just you click the first button at the front and the camera moves to the rear camera. If you click on it back again, the camera comes back to the main front camera. So there's a lot of fog on the front windshield right now because it's raining outside and it's hot inside the car. That's why the screen is looking fuzzy. So you can switch the camera views easily with the press of a button and can easily get the rear camera view on the screen. So basically these are the settings options for the Vahan Vue dash camera.
Alright, so this was the complete overview of the Vahan Vue 4K dashcam, covering its unboxing, its installation, its video quality, license plate readability, and even the on-screen settings of this camera, including the app setup. So looking at this dashcam straight away, I felt very glad to see some level of innovation, some creativity in the design concept of this camera. A dashcam with a circular display with analog watch faces to choose from was quite unheard of. So full marks to Vahan for bringing in a new and a innovative design in the dashcam market. So if you too like the design of this dashcam and also are quite satisfied with the kind of video quality this dashcam provides, just go ahead, click on the description. You'll find the link to purchase the dashcam right there. The good thing about buying this dashcam is that you don't have to buy a separate memory card, as the dedicated 128 GB memory card comes right in the box. So if you have any doubts or queries regarding this dashcam, just write down below in the comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And of course, if you did like this video, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and smash that like button. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Insta and the WhatsApp page. The links to those are given in the description as well. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.